So it isn't just an ordinary Wednesday, or not Wednesday, Monday. It's a leg day. I'm gonna start off with the extension as always and just kind of go from there. I'm gonna try out some squatting shoes that I got a couple years back for either leg press to make it deeper and get more knee flexion out of it, or either the one-legged lunge thing that I do on the Smith machine. But we'll see when I get to that. But for now, I'm gonna do that little stretching, pre-stretching thing that I showed a couple videos back, and then we'll get into this extension. So you don't have to start with extension, but at least for me, the times when I've done extensions like after squatting or lunges or leg press, it feels like my quads are numb a little bit, and I don't get that same like crazy contraction at the top, or I mean the whole thing really. And I don't know. To me, it's kind of like doing flies before pressing. For chest, you know, it feels good. But if you do a chest fly after pressing, sometimes you get to this point and you feel like there's not a lot of power, and your chest is kind of numb. So that's why I'm doing this extension first, or the same reason somebody would do a leg curl before doing like a stiff leg deadlift. I don't know many people that do like a stiff leg deadlift first. It feels kind of like dangerous, and it kind of feels like the muscle is not ready to be stretched to that degree yet. So I guess in theory, shorten the muscle fully for more of like a squeezing motion, and then move on to more of like a stretching motion for it. So let's just start and warm up, and then we'll get into like the top set and see how it goes. I talked about this in my last video, or my last leg day. If you're losing grip on your leg extensions, then I would try strapping in. These are the same straps that you would use for like all your back stuff or a deadlift. It's not cheating. So you can handle the weight. You just can't hold on anymore. So strap in so your grip's not a factor, and then so you can take your quads to absolute failure, which is the goal. So just lock in before those sets, and just let it all go, man. Everything. If you do one rep, just keep doing the reps until you get to one you can't do. Pretty simple. So if you think you can't do another one, but you just did one, at least push yourself and see if you can get to that next one, which you're probably gonna get. That's what I do. So as many as you could do to the very top, and just try and destroy your quads, man. So that was a solid set. I think I got 8 there. 8 perfect reps. So last week I did 18 plates for, what did I get? I got 10. This week I did 19, and I got 8. But I felt like I had better control, and I was going slower on the way down, so I can feel right away that I had more control over the weight from the very beginning. So it was a good set. I'm gonna move on to Probably gonna move on to leg press. Let's see what the legs are looking like. They're not bad. So I'm getting more cut out medialis here. A little line there, a little line there. Medialis getting sculpted out. So as you're dieting down, every week you should be seeing a little bit more detail within whatever body part you're training. Or I mean, it doesn't really matter what body part. The whole body should be getting stripped of body fat. And if you don't see it, then give it another week. But you gotta use other variables, like is your weight dropping? If your weight's not dropping at all, but you're getting leaner, like you look leaner, and you're not like delusional, like you can actually see a difference for sure, then probably keep it. Your weight will probably drop soon. But if your weight is the same and you don't see any new definition anywhere, then you probably got to make a change. Meaning you're gonna have to suffer a little bit and you're gonna have to drop calories a little bit more. So drop the calories a little bit, and then you should see a change on the scale within the next couple days. Drop it by a couple hundred calories. I mean, just play around with it. If you're starving, increase it a little bit. But you gotta remember, you're dieting. You're eating less than you need to actually maintain your body weight. So you're not gonna feel the greatest. But when you come into the gym, just try and convince yourself that you are stronger today than last week, because I think a big part of this is mental. So don't let the diet get to your head. There will become a point, or there will be a point where you're lean enough that you will start to lose strength a little bit. It's just inevitable. So, but in the beginning, dropping from 15% to 10% body fat, you'll probably be all right. 10 to whatever, lower, you might lose some strength potentially. But so since this leg press doesn't go deep enough for me, I'm gonna add these squat shoes. So since it gives me an elevated heel now, it's gonna give me more knee flexion. And I mean, just wearing shoes, it's gonna make the leg press deeper. Simply by me not wearing shoes last time, me adding shoes, it's gonna make it harder. And the elevated heel is gonna make it more quad biased, or at least that's the goal. So if I had a flat foot, then it's gonna incorporate more hamstrings as well. But let's just kind of feel it out and see how this feels. And I think I got these squat shoes probably like 3 years ago. I just never worn them, so let's just see if it works. Pretty much before my leg press sets, I'm terrified, and that's just something you gotta deal with, and just realize that the set only lasts like 2 minutes. Now, this leg press setup is something, if I could say it. Now, this leg press setup is one of a kind. If you can see this, This is just what I gotta do to get more depth. I think I'm pretty flexible, so I think that's probably the reason. Well, that's definitely the reason that I need this. So if you have a regular 45-degree leg press, the one that just goes like on a sled, that's plate loaded, then you don't need all this crazy shit behind me. This is fucking hard. So I switched to like, just like a slower pause type of set. And the last rep are still all out. So, felt good. And then at the end I went down like, and then I just tried to hold it for my life. And then it just kind of brought me back down. So that's it for quads, man. Extensions, leg press. Move on to hamstrings, down inner thigh. Pretty decent. Or not off season. I don't even like to call it off season because I'm not like a professional bodybuilder, but I do like to hit a couple poses because it feels, I don't know, just like to do it. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see. Not bad. Again, as you get leaner, there'll be more cuts here, little cuts in the side leg, on the side chest, and this medialis becomes more, right here, becomes more isolated. So, but the lower back and abdominals, hamstrings, glutes, that's where most of the body fat is gonna stay, at least for me, or most guys out there. So, you know what I'm talking about, guys. Fucking lower back is like double as wide when you're like 10 pounds heavier. And then when you come down 10 pounds, it like all comes from your lower back. So, and obliques. Oh my God, you go to like flex your oblique and it's like, just like pure whale blubber here. It's just terrible, man. But that's what happens when you eat like shit and just eat a Ben & Jerry's every single goddamn night on top of whatever food you bought from like fried chicken and fried rice from like one of those places, you know what I'm talking about, whatever. Anyway, we hit some inner thigh. So I'm mixing this up a little bit. I did the inner thigh before the leg press last time, but for some reason, like I would say if like mentally you want to go into the leg press first, then that's probably gonna outweigh in a good way than like, oh, extensions is better and then leg press scientifically, you know? But if you wanna do leg press first and you're mentally wanting to push hard on that, then I would say go straight to the leg press and because you're gonna get more benefit out of that. Because again, the intensity is the main thing. You can have the perfect order of exercises, but if you're not pushing that hard, like you could have the shittiest split ever. But if you're pushing hard and you're recovering, then you're gonna grow better, at least I think, than let's say you had a clone of yourself doing the perfect split, perfect rest time, but you're not pushing hard. So intensity is king, man. When it comes to warm-up sets on the inner thigh machine, I think just do like 1 or 2 feeler sets. I think you should get comfortable with that outside position because it might feel like you're gonna rip your groin in half if you're not warmed up properly. So I would say just do a couple reps with like 50% of your main set weight and then go up to like 80% for a couple reps and then go straight to your 100%. Come on, come on, come on. So I did as many as I could, and then I got to like right here, and then I used my hands, and I did like a chest press just to keep it moving a little bit, and then I tried to hold it in the middle, and then let it go a little bit, and then I felt like I had a little bit left, or I wanted to see if I had a little bit left. So I chest pressed it to the middle, or chest flied it, and then I attempted to hold it, and I couldn't at all. So that's how you know you're absolutely fatigued as shit for your top set. So, and I keep saying top set, but you know what I'm talking about, your main all out life or death set. There's so many like words to use, you know, working set, top set, whatever, you know, call it whatever you want. It's the set that you go ape shit on. So I'm gonna move on to hamstrings now. So if you don't have a seated, I'd go with a lying hamstring curl. And if you don't have a lying hamstring curl, then I'd go with a standing one. And if you don't have those, then you should probably just switch gyms, if I'm being honest. Now, when you set up the curl, you want this pad to be somewhere on the lower third of your quad. You don't want it too high up here. You want it to push down your knees, but you don't want it to be directly on your knee because that's gonna really hurt. And it's just not how to do it. So you want it to be on the lowest part of your quad so that it holds your knee down, holds your quad down, and you can just focus on the hamstring curl. And you want to tighten this down as much as possible. You need to tighten this down. For the extension, you don't have to tighten this down. But for the curl, you absolutely, not even negotiation, have to put this down. So, and then as you curl, I'm actually like, as you see, I'm actually driving my knees up into the pad to initiate the curl. I'm not trying to just drive my heel down. I'm actually pushing my leg into this, tightening it up, and then I'm curling. So this is what it's gonna look like. I'm just gonna do a couple reps on this. There, I'm resisting the way up. I'm driving my knees into the pad. And then I'm curling down, still driving into the pad. And then I'm resisting on the way up. Initiating with driving into the pad, heels down, then behind you. And do one more. This is the fourth one. Once you do your warm-up set, just go straight to the top set and go fucking crazy. So that was as many as I could do. And then once I got to like here, I kind of leaned forward a little bit just to get it down all the way. And then that's when the set started, man. It was game on. It was game face. Hold it for as long as possible. And it kind of like, it pulled me up, even though I was fighting as hard as I could. And then I attempted to do partials, even though it probably looked like I wasn't doing shit. I'm just gonna do one set for hamstrings. That was, it stimulated what I needed to. So, do some abs now. We'll see, either that hanging ab or maybe I'll go back to the decline sit up again. And if you're a bodybuilder, man, you should take the hair off your legs. It's gonna be way better definition if you have no hair on your legs. Let's see. Yeah, so that line's coming in a little bit, as you can see. Like when I used to train at a World Gym back in the day, when I was like 16, 17, I would, well, I trained there for like 5 years. I think I got there when I was like 15, 16. I'm 23 now, so. But when I used to train there, they, somebody must have like broke the mirror by like, I don't know if they ran into it or some shit, but it broke. And then I had to squat without a mirror. And it took me like probably a month to get used to it. And then once I went back to the mirror was actually more awkward. So it just goes to show, you gotta learn the movement patterns, and posing is a movement pattern. You can't just expect to know how to flex your calf or hamstring, or not flex your hamstring while contracting glute and calf without doing it. So you gotta learn it. So we're doing this guy again. I'm gonna do, it's like a crunch mixture with the hip movement. So it's hip flexion, and then you actually wanna like act like you're doing a crunch machine at the same time. If you're not strong enough to do these, then you can just do a decline sit-up or just do the classic ab machine. As long as you push hard, like you don't need these. You could hang from a bar and just do it like both legs at a time. And if you start losing your grip, strap up for it so the grip's not a factor. But I think any ab exercise, when you're just crunching down or moving your leg up, like if you want to do just leg raises on the ground, it's perfectly fine with me. I used to do this for years. And if they're getting too easy, put a dumbbell in between your feet and hold a plate. So put a plate in your hand so you don't end up like you know, rocking and stuff. So. Oh. So those were getting real hard. So once I couldn't really do any more full reps, I just stayed in the bottom, and I kind of just did this like arch my back a little bit and then crunch a little bit, movement. So I was just tapping my feet. I look like some disabled dolphin or something, but hey, whatever it is. So the abs are coming in. Let's see. You see I got this whale blubber shit here. So once I get the whale blubber off, then I can reveal, the muscle under. But it's funny, as the workout goes on, I feel like I can't even see because the fucking hat, because the hat's like, the mic's like pulling it down. The mic comes with like a different thing also where I could put like a little cord up and put this thing in my pocket and then have like a mic that attaches to my shirt, which I might end up using. But hey, you know what I just realized is that I said I was gonna go to a different gym. Well, I was thinking about it. I always say that. So I think as lifters, we say we're gonna like try out gyms, but at least for me, I just end up coming to the same spot every single time. Maybe like once every couple months I'll go somewhere else, but for the most part I stick to the same place because it's just comfortable. I think like going to a gym that you know everyone there, you're not like, you don't feel like an outsider going in. I feel like that's important because if you're comfortable there, then you're willing to like maybe do that exercise that you aren't fully sure how to do, or make a little bit of noise without someone coming up to you and like, yelling at you. Like nobody wants that. So when you have like a comfortable space to train in, then you have spotters available because you know everybody. It's like a little like family community. Like I used to train at an LA Fitness, but I like more like hardcore gyms. Or this spot's great because it's like my own like private little place where I can just do kind of whatever I feel like, whatever music I want, walk around no shoes if I feel like it. There's this trend of that's gotten out of hand of people walking around with no shoes, and I don't think it's a problem taking your shoes off just for like the set that you're about to do, and then you put your shoes right back on. But if you're walking around the entire gym, first off, if you ever dropped a plate on your foot, your toe, forget about it. Gone, sliced off, mushed to pieces, goddamn burnt pancake at that point. And then it's terrible. So, but that's the workout I did. Leg extension, and then so leg extension felt really good. Leg press was really good. Leg press is just terrible feeling, man. It is like just the nastiest burn. Oh, God, it's terrible. I don't even want to think about it. I'm going to throw up just thinking about it. And then I moved on to the inner thigh machine, did the hamstring curl, and then I did a set of here, full reps, and then I just bounced it out. Just trying to destroy my abs. That's all I'm trying to do. So if it's full reps, it's full reps. If I can't do any more fulls, then I'm going to do halves and just kind of like bounce them out like an absolute disabled dolphin. At least that's what it felt like. I was, that's that. And the good news is that not only do I wear this hat, but I do know that I've got a couple more hats coming from Santa. So I will be bringing those to the channel. I got an orange one. I got a gold one coming, I think. I got a light blue one, my favorite color. And then I got like a navy blue one. So, I got 2 fingers up, but I just said 5 hats. So I'm not really sure how that worked. But whatever. The pre-workout meal was cottage cheese. It was 2 servings of cottage cheese and 90 calories a serving. It was half the container. It was two servings. It was 15, or I think it was 16 grams of protein per serving. So it was 32 grams of protein. And if let's say I have 150 pounds of muscle on me, which is, somewhere around that, let's just call it that, then I'm going to have 5 meals per day, which I do, and around 30 grams of protein per meal. So I did cottage cheese, 2 servings, that's 32 grams of protein. And then I had like 3 rice cakes, so it was like 400 calories. And then I had a banana before I trained. So it's like a 500 calorie meal before training. Each meal is about 500. I don't really vary it too much. Your pre-workout meal shouldn't be the biggest meal of the day, I don't think. Because your glycogen is already stored from the day prior. So it's not going to do anything but just, you know, take away all the blood that's supposed to be in your muscles and bring it to your digestive tract. So, and then had a scoop of the pre-workout with like, I don't know, let's call it like 2 drizzles, or 2 like maybe like three of like forward back salt shakes. So it's probably like 1,000 milligrams, I would say, which some would say that's a lot, but like pre-workout, you need a lot of salt, I think, and post-workout, especially on a leg day. Leg day, you need a lot. So depends on how hot the gym is you're training in, or if it's summer or winter. But I just like to have a little bit extra. I don't think it's good to be afraid of salt unless you have some, you know, some type of high blood pressure thing and you're like 80 years old. But if you're a healthy person and you're using it for performance, salt is your friend. Don't run from salt. It's essential. Salt, carbohydrates, and water all go together. So you want to, like, that's hydration. Hydration is not only just water. Salt, water, carbohydrate. That's how it goes. You need those 3 together. And that's that. Done. We'll see if I go talk on the couch or not. If not, then take 1 or 2 days off and then hit push.